You're staring at the classifieds, scrolling through endless listings of affordable sedans, and one name keeps popping up with a design that actually looks surprisingly modern for its age, the Hyundai Accent Blue. But here is the burning question keeping you up at night. Is this car a hidden gem or a financial pitfall waiting to swallow your wallet? Let us be real for a second. You're not buying this car to set lap times at the Nürburgring. You are buying it because you need reliable transportation that does not look like a cardboard box. The first thing you need to understand is the engine character, specifically if you're looking at the 1.6-liter CRDI diesel engine. This unit is an absolute torque monster for its class, pushing out numbers that make merging onto the highway genuinely effortless, unlike some of its naturally aspirated competitors where you have to turn off the air conditioning just to pass a truck. The throttle response on the diesel, specifically the 128 horsepower and 136 horsepower variants, feels punchy, almost eager, which is rare in this segment. However, and this is a big however, we need to talk about the transmission. If you're looking at the automatic versions, specifically the early 4-speed torque converters, they're bulletproof but thirsty, whereas the later 7-speed DCT, which stands for dual clutch transmission, offers snappy shifts but can be jerky in stop-and-go traffic. You might feel a shudder when creeping forward at a traffic light, and that is something you need to be aware of because clutch replacement on a dual clutch unit is not exactly cheap. Now, let us move to the suspension setup, because this is where the Accent Blue shows its true economy car roots. The rear suspension uses a torsion beam setup, which is great for trunk space and durability, but when you hit a pothole or a sharp bump mid-corner, the rear end can feel a bit unsettled, almost like it is doing a little hop and skip. It is not dangerous if you're driving normally, but do not expect independent rear suspension levels of composure. On the flip side, the interior layout is remarkably intuitive. You have got physical buttons for the climate control, thank goodness, and everything falls to hand easily. The plastics are hard. Yes, tapping on the dashboard sounds like knocking on a hollow door, but they are incredibly durable and resistant to scratching, which is perfect if you have kids or pets. Fuel economy is the ace up its sleeve, especially with the manual diesel. We're seeing incredibly low consumption figures on the dashboard becomes an addictive game. But you have to weigh that against the cabin noise. At highway speeds, you will hear the wind whistling around the mirrors and the tire roar entering the cabin because sound deadening was clearly one of the areas where the accountants trimmed the budget. So is it worth buying? If you can live with a slightly stiffer ride and some road noise in exchange for a powertrain that is punchy and reliable, absolutely yes. But stay tuned because checking the service history for that turbocharger is non-negotiable.